Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, Virgin Islanders took to social media to organize and provide support to Liana Siru and her missing boys. Sadly, VIPD informed that they strongly believe two bodies that were found yesterday were that of Liana's two sons. Liana is still missing and search parties are still looking for the 24-year-old. News 2 Stephanie Brown reports.
Volunteers continued their search for 24-year-old Liana Siru that was last seen on Friday, July 28th. Yesterday, landscapers near the Haypenny Beach found two badly decomposed minor bodies, which the VIPD strongly believes are Jordan and Jeremiah Siru. Liana Siru still has not been found. Malik Stradiran once received assistance from the community for a personal crisis, and he is paying it forward by organizing search groups that have been working since Monday.
We know that if somebody could do something like that to children, you know, the family could at least look for justice on their end, but we on our end helped to look out for them to see that they can get justice on their own too, you know.
A search group on the South Shore found a peculiar scene today and informed investigators.
So the relationship between us is we will call VIPD or they will call us. If we're going in a search area they would like to know, they tell us where they search, we tell them where we searched, and then if anything pops up, we let them to know we need a backup or help, and that's what we're doing. But our mission is not to solve the crime. Our mission is to help find the individuals that are missing.
Search party volunteer has fond memories of Liana and her two boys.
What I have seen at the rink, you know, I mean, she came there and I was a decent mom, you know. I always show concern, watch and see where they are. You notice a lot of things with other mom, but you know, she come around, sit down and speak. One of the party was she attended at the skating ring. She even had to help out at the skating ring a couple of times. So it's faces that you don't forget and faces that you forget, but this is one you don't forget at all.
Liana's cousin that would like to remain anonymous recalled that Liana had a close bond with her 5-year-old Jeremiah.
It had a situation that he almost died and he didn't. So she felt like that was a miracle from God.
For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Now, Liana was last seen, as we reported, driving a 2011 silver Toyota Yaris, and the VIPD stated that they found a similar car badly burned in estate Lower Love. They are currently working to positively ID the car since the VIN number was burnt and unreadable. Well, a little more about Liana. Search parties, of course, were out yesterday looking for the 24-year-old and her two sons, Jordan, 10 years of age, and 5-year-old Jeremiah Siru. Police confirmed in the press conference held at 10 a.m. yesterday that the boys' last name were the same as their mother's. Police officers responded to information of two bodies being found near the Haypenny Beach on St. Croix yesterday after the 10 a.m. press conference. In a second press briefing held yesterday at 3 p.m. with the Lieutenant Governor present, the VIPD relayed that they strongly believed that the bodies found were Liana's sons, who were last seen on Friday, July 28th at 5 p.m. Naomi Joseph stated that Liana had applied to become a police officer and her diploma from the University of the Virgin Islands was on file. Ms. Joseph further informed that Siru was scheduled to begin classes to pursue a master's degree. Liana is still missing. Well, as we reported, many have taken to social media to express their feelings about the crime. We received numerous comments on our News 2 Facebook page. However, we were really touched by this tearful message that has been viewed more than 70,000 times and shared. It's a tearful plea from well-known Crucian Calypsonian Nikki Brooks. She said she did this because she refuses to give up on our community, and she says she wanted to send a message. Here's more.
Wake up! Wake up by yourself, FBI! Wake up! This is a crime for me! Me no big person! Me no celebrity! I is a Crucian! I is a Virgin Islander! I is a mother! I is a daughter! A sister! A aunt! A cousin! A niece! Can you please, please, if you see something, say something, Lord. If I see something, say something. This here hurt me. I mean, even like the next kid. But I is a next kid because I is a mother. That's my connection. That should be all your connection, woman. Rise up and know your role in this island here. Just rise up and know how you roll. Protect your home. That's your children then.
Again, if you have any information that can assist police, be sure to call 911 or the police department. A former health enforcement officer, some sad news to report with the environmental unit. Police say investigation revealed that his cause of death appeared to be the result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. On Tuesday, August 2nd at 1:33 p.m., officers were dispatched to the area of Altona and Wellgunst after receiving notification from Central Dispatch of a DOA victim having been discovered. A citizen called the 911 emergency call center and explained that he was trying to make contact with his neighbor to no avail. Unable to reach his neighbor, he then looked through the window of his neighbor's residence and observed that he seemed lifeless. Contact was then made with a relative of the victim, who was identified as 71-year-old Walter Richardson, a former health enforcement officer with the environmental unit. Anyone having information regarding this incident, you're asked to contact the Major Crime Unit at 340-774-2211, extension 5569. You can also contact 911, Crime Stoppers VI, 1-800-222-TIPS, or the Commissioner's Office. On Thursday, July 27, about 6:45 p.m., Central Dispatch notified officers of shots fired in the area of Contant. About 6:45 p.m., officers traveled to the Roy Lesher Schneider emergency room. Contact was made with the male victim, who appeared to have been struck multiple times about his body and was being treated for his injuries. And then contact was made with a second male victim at the hospital who sustained multiple gunshot wounds about his body. He was treated and released. Of course, we reported this, and this is the update. On Tuesday, August 1st, the Criminal Investigation Bureau, along with the Special Operations Bureau, executed a warrant in the area of Marandal, where Amijah Charles was placed under arrest and charged after an arrest warrant was issued by the magistrate Henry Carr III. Charles is facing first-degree assault, third-degree assault, reckless endangerment, first-degree, unauthorized use of a firearm, aiding and abetting, and accessory after the fact. Bail for Charles was set to $100,000 pending his advice of rights hearing. This case is presently under investigation by the Criminal Investigation Bureau. Now, in response to all the shootings, Senator Marvin Blyden is hosting an emergency community meeting that's going on this evening at the Crush nightclub. It began about 6:30 p.m., and that's located in Subbase next to Pueblo, across from the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. The newly appointed Territorial Chief of Police, Mr. Winsbuck McFarland, is in attendance to meet and speak with concerned community leaders, residents, and organizations, and they will hear more about his plans on combating crime, monies received and earmarked for the purchase of street cameras, and receive feedback from all concerned. Well, coming up, we have much more on NEWS2. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The White House says a disputed telephone conversation President Trump claims he had with Mexico's president was actually in person. On Monday, Trump heralded a call from Mexico's president about a decrease in border crossings in Mexico. However, officials recalled a different version of events. A statement from the Mexican president's office said President Enrique Peña Nieto has not been in recent communication via telephone with President Trump. The office said the two leaders did meet in person on the sidelines of last month's G20 meetings in Hamburg, Germany, and did discuss migration. On Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders confirmed that's the conversation President Trump was talking about. Keeping our eye on the economy, the FAA is now under a federal court order to review the sizes of seats and legroom on commercial airlines. It's a victory for flyers' rights, an advocacy group that has pushed for new rules regulating seat sizes. After the group's petition to the FAA was turned down in 2015, it went to the courts. Advocates argue small airline seats can put passengers' health at risk for conditions like blood clots in legs. And they say growing obesity rates aren't being recognized by airlines. Flyers Rights offered evidence that the average width of seats has been cut 1.5 inches over the last decade. The Washington, D.C. court's decision cites space between the seat and the one behind it has also decreased. Airlines have said being able to add extra seats can improve its efficiency and offer better fares for travelers. The Senate in March rejected a plan to set minimums for airplane seat width and legroom distance. Any new FAA regulation would bypass the need for action from Congress. The FAA has not commented. Taking a look at the numbers there, the Dow up 52, NASDAQ down, S&P 500 up. Well, at odds with the new tipping fees, waste haulers on St. Croix imposed a work stoppage beginning Tuesday afternoon in an effort to get officials to sit down, discuss the tipping fees, and suspend their implementation. Waste Management resumed pickup this afternoon after several waste haulers met with Waste Management Executive Director Roger Merritt, Governor's Senior Policy Advisor Frankie Johnson, and other government officials. Here's more.
Explaining our concern on the tipping fees and why we think it needs to wait based on these prices. People wouldn't pay 10 times the cost to dispose of their trash. They will quicker pay a small amount and we gradually get to where it needs to be. I mean, we got together and decided to hold it off until September 1st, and in meanwhile we're going to schedule a meeting for next week to see if we can come up with a reasonable cost for the tipping fee and then try to have it implemented by September.
Delegate Stacy Plaskett is holding public meetings, as we reported, with National Park Service Southeast Regional Director Stan Austin, as well as the New Caribbean Parks Group Superintendent Randy Lavoisier, Virgin Islands National Park Superintendent Jane Schaefer, and Christiansted National Historic Site and Buck Island Reef National Monument Superintendent Joelle Tutine. She says the purpose of this meeting is to allow the public to share their concerns directly with the decision-making officials from the Park Service and to have those officials address those concerns. Now, residents of St. Thomas and St. John are encouraged to attend the first meeting that's scheduled for 6 p.m. Thursday, August 3rd in the Cleone Creeky Legislative Conference Room in Cruise Bay, St. John. The second meeting, residents on St. Croix are encouraged to attend. That's 6 p.m. Monday, August 7th in the Danish West India Building and Guinea Company Warehouse. That's across from the Steeple Building in Christiansted. Here's more.
We knew that a week ago there was a lot of information that went out. Some of it was not true. That is a way for it to be cleared up, to go right to the top, for people to talk directly with them. So one, to explain to people that the Virgin Islands National Park was never going to be renamed as the Caribbean National Park, that we are still our own parks. And now we are in a Caribbean cluster to bring decision-making down, and also to talk about some initiatives that have taken place. We were able, our office has worked, Elizabeth Centeno here in our district office, our legislative director, Angeline Muckle-Jabbar, working to ensure that, particularly on St. John, the youth program could start back up, which had been defunct for a number of years. That's back up and running, and we're hopeful that my position as the ranking Democrat on the Interior Subcommittee of Oversight and Government Reform will mean that we'll be able to bring a lot more attention to the issues that Virgin Islanders are interested in.
Here's another town hall to put on the calendar. AARP, Senator Norita O'Reilly, and the New Horizon Women, they will be hosting a healthcare town hall meeting this Friday at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center Amphitheater in Christiansted. The discussion will center around healthcare and concerns in the U.S. Virgin Islands, so be sure to check that out again. That's this Friday, at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center Amphitheater in Christiansted. The Coral Bay Council, they're reaching out for some new members on St. John. They have mailed out letters to about 500 property owners in Coral Bay who have mailing addresses on St. John and St. Thomas. Now, they say this was done in an effort to inform everyone about their programs and projects. They are encouraging all to become members of the nonprofit organization. Now, the members elect the board of directors. The very active council recently received a $72,000 grant from DPNR and EPA, as well as $68,000 from the the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation Coral Reef Conservation Fund, and partners NOAA. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Well, it's a bit wet out here in the Virgin Islands. We are seeing numerous showers and thunderstorms pass through because of a tropical wave that's heading right in our direction. Here it is. So you can see, let's get a closer look, all of this activity going right across the islands. So the darker the red, the heavier the downpour. So some people are certainly getting some very wet weather right now. It's going to continue like that through tonight and into tomorrow. We even have a rip current advisory in place for St. Croix. Very dangerous conditions out on the ocean and on the beaches right now. For tonight, 81 degrees, a shower or two should be expected pretty much anywhere. St. John, 91 degrees with a shower or two. And then St. Thomas, 91, same story. And then we have that rip current advisory here in St. Croix, 92 degrees with a shower or two for tomorrow. We will see some peaks of sunshine throughout the day, but it's certainly an umbrella day. As far as the marine forecast, the Atlantic side, we do have a small craft advisory through Thursday night. So it's dangerous out there on the ocean. We have some waves 6 to 8 feet. Could certainly cause a problem if you are on a small craft. Waves 5 to 7 here, east 15 to 20 knots. And then on the Caribbean side, well, we also have a small craft advisory in place as well through Thursday night. Here are the 6 to 8 feet waves. Winds out of the east at 15 to 20 knots. So certainly be careful if you're planning on going out in the ocean. Maybe avoid it altogether until Friday. That's when we're going to see some improvement here. It's going to be a nicer day. We're still going to see a shower or two, but it's going to be an improvement from Thursday. And then Saturday, well, we will have improvement there as well until our next tropical wave moves through Sunday, where we are going to see more frequent showers again, gusty winds. And that's going to continue through Monday, so it's going to become a bit more unsettled. Temperatures on Friday at 90 degrees, and then on Saturday we drop it down to 88, but then the rest of the week we bump it right back up to 89 for our highs. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that. Aaliyah George is our featured weather artist of the Great Mind Summer Learning Academy, sharing this picture with some sunshine and clouds. Aaliyah, hope you're having a great summer. Send us your News 2 weather picture to be featured right here to the address right there on the screen. News 2 via 4611 Tutu Park Suite 300, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands 00802. And that is all for this edition of News 2. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest. I'm Sandra Singh. Have a wonderful evening.